Confusion Bureau, United We Stand, by Arcane Striker JK5. Chapter 17. Megan walked through the lowermost catacombs of Crystal Castle, head bowed somewhat. Princess Sparkle and Tiffany flanked her left and right, respectively. Flickering torches lit their way. If any of them looked down, they noticed that nothing actually burning. A simple flame danced inside the bronze braziers, giving off ample light, chasing away shadows. Tiffany extended a wing and gently ran her primaries along Megan's folded wing. "How are you doing?" she asked, concerned laced to her voice. Megan kicked at the stone floor as she walked along, digging her thorough for gray rock. The voice wasn't any louder, but she's still there. She smiled. "Thanks for helping me out." Sparkle shook her head. "As much as we like to claim credit for anything here, it's not really us who'll be helping you out." She turned, lowered her head slightly, pointing her horn at the door where the three were approaching. "It'll be him." Megan nickered, eyes narrowed. "I think I've got something of an idea who this mystery mentor is, Sparkle. I'll wait until I see him, though." Sparkle's horn glowed and the door opened. "Would you like to wait for us to wait for you?" Megan lowered her head and thought for a moment. "No," she finally said. "I don't know how long we'll be, and I don't want you two waiting for hours." She motioned to the ceiling. "Might as well go up there and see how the others are doing with Man Long or something." Tiffany and Sparkle followed her gaze. "Are you sure?" Megan nodded. "I'm sure too. I could be hours here or minutes, or this might not work at all. I don't want you two staying down here, getting hungry or tired or whatever. Go up, get some food, play along, figure out what you like to do with all the crystals in the Crystal Desert." Tiffany nickered. "I think we'll leave the haggling to Royal Blue." She stopped to huff. "We'll take shifts if we have to, but we're not leaving you until we know you're all right, Megan." She unfurled a wing and jabbed at the door, expressing set in stone. Megan looked at Sparkle, who had the same look on her face. Megan smiled at him, turned, and trotted up to the door. It opened as she approached, hinted silent as if it had been recently oiled. Inside there was a faint glow, illuminating an empty cave. Megan walked inside. "Hello?" she called out, head turning from side to side. As soon as she cleared the door, it closed. She cantered about, looking it over. Layers. She turned back. Her eyes crossed slightly as she concentrated. The tip of her horn lit up, brightening the room even more. "Hello? I'm here. I really don't have much time." She walked around, looking all about. The cave itself wasn't very large, with only a large boulder and some smaller rocks scattered about inside. "Anyone here?" Megan walked up to the boulder. She tilted her head to side, craned her neck about. She saw nothing out of the ordinary about it. She even tapped her hoof against it, but it proved solid through and through. Megan shook her head. "This is ridiculous." The boulder's surface suddenly wrinkled, seeming to tug it on itself. Megan whinnied and jumped to all fours and scrambled away. The boulder seemed to roll in on itself, revealing a hollow interior. A rather short man peeked his head out. He wore a green pair of pants with a wide brown belt and a matching green shirt and a dark green jacket. Most of his face was covered by a thick white beard and mustache. He looked at Megan with inquisitive eyes that bore a twinkle and mischief in them.
"Oh my, don't be sorry about that. I fell asleep."
He stepped out and folded the boulder back down, patting it before turning back to Megan. He smiled.
"It's so good to see you again, my dear, although you have grown since we met."
Megan's jaw worked for a bit before she finally spoke, voice barely above a whisper. "Meister Moochike?"
Mitchik nodded. "The one and only, Megan."
He bowed, sweeping his hat off his head before straightening out. He walked forward, all around Megan, eyes taking in every inch of her. The smile fell away with each step.
Oh my indeed."
Megan walked till Moochik was once more in front of her before speaking. "I have some questions for you," she finally said. "May I ask them?" Barker laughter escaped to Moochik.
"But of course, Megan, but of course." "I've always loved your inquisitive nature, you know. A true sign of intelligence."
Smile graced Megan's muzzle. "Like you. Now the first one is, I am, not to be too blunt about it, but how are you still alive? Where have you been?" Moochik chuckled. A tough rope appeared in the sand and he started skipping rope. You know, guys, I just realized that there all this time that some people who listen into this for the first time might think my southern accents are fake. That I'm not born from the South at all. I am.
Oh, you know, exercise, diet.
A junk boat disappeared, a glass of juice replaced it. He downed the juice in one gulp, then tossed the glass over his shoulder, where it vanished through a hole in midair.
And mastery over the arcane arts allow me to control all time and space.
Despite the situation, Megan giggled. Good answer. Now, if you're still alive, what about Scorpion? Or Alonso? Richard's grin fell away. He bowed his head, slipped it off his hat, and held it from his chest.
I am sorry to say, time passes in the same rate in my realm, the Sylvanin, as it does here in the ecosystem. I'm sorry, Megan, but he and all those he knew passed to the whole lands of Kitak, as the scriptures of the Magne call it, a very long time ago.
Megan's eyes glistened. She wiped them with a wing, but the accent did little to dry them or stop some tears from trailing down. Okay, thanks. Stupid question, I guess.
Richard shook his head. Not at all, Megan. Now, if I may guess, your next question is if I'll be able to change you back into a human.
He waited for her to nod before continuing.
I can, but the extreme level of your transformation and the sheer power put into it means it would not be quick and easy, and I fear Queen Celestia would be fighting me every step of the way.
Megan's jaw worked for a bit. So, what? You can't do anything? You won't do anything? The tip of her horn started brightening as he snorted. Richard kept her hand.
Wait, calm down, Megan. I can gather how stressful this must be for you. No need to jump to any conclusions, my dear.
He turned and walked to a smooth patch of the rock wall.
I can't do anything within an acceptable time frame. However, there is something that can.
He ran his fingers through the long wall.
Let me see. Ah, here it is.
He slid a portion of the rock wall aside, revealing a large hole.
The magic from the heart of Ponyland does not travel through one tunnel. There are many, many tunnels it travels through. Think of it like branches from a tree. This tunnel will lead you to one such branch, Megan. There, you should be able to get yourself changed back to human form, and break the spell that Warp Celestia has over you.
Megan slowly walked up to the hole. She leaned forward, eyes narrowing. Okay, so what's the catch? Mitchik slowly nodded, waggled a finger at her.
A very serious question, Megan. The catch is, the heart is not exactly sapient, I think. It's brown or odd. There is a will behind it. I'm not sure if it's being directed maybe by Granny Bonnie, or if it's a collected will.
His expression changed to one of deadly seriousness.
I cannot predict what you'll encounter there, Megan. I also cannot guarantee your safety.
Megan nodded. Okay, thanks for the warning. She got a small sigh. And thanks. She folded Moochik up and gently nuzzled him. It's really good to see you again. Moochik gently patted her nuzzle.
I'm glad to be able to see you again. Although Bonnie knows I wish it was under different circumstances.
He shook his head as Megan lowered him back to the ground.
I'd give up all my magic and knowledge if it meant you could be changed back right now, Megan. I'm sorry I can't help more.
Megan shrugged. Thanks, but at least you showed me one way to do it. She looked to the hole, eyes narrowing. She paused at the ground before trying through the hole into the rock face. She was quickly swallowed by the darkness, disappearing entirely. Moochik stared at the hole as it was resealed.
Be careful, my friend.
Megan walked along, not entirely sure she was in a large room, a tunnel, or something else. Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! She could see her immediate surroundings, but only a few feet away. The light bled away into the darkness. No matter how hard she squinted or how bright she dared to take her horn, she couldn't just drive away the darkness. Hello? She called out. Is there anyone here? Anything? I'm here. She shook her head. Don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. Her head shot up. She looked to the right and spotted a hazy outline. A bit of dark gray against the blackness. Almost as soon as she saw it, it moved away from her, passing into the darkness. Megan gasped. Hi! Come back! She shouted, galloping forward. Whatever it was, it just kept barely ahead of Megan, no matter how hard she galloped. So intent was Megan on following, she failed to notice the surrounding area was brightening, changing from pitch black to dark blue. The thing Megan was chasing suddenly vanished. Megan slowed to a trot, finally stopping and noticing the change in her surrounding. She looked up, ears twitching. The surrounding area was light blue, the floor almost indistinguishable from the rest of the area. For a long minute, Megan stood stock still. She glanced back and forth, taking in the changes. She turned and stopped short as a tall mirror appeared, hanging in midair with no visible means of support. Megan walked around the tall, thin slab of reflective material. Where did you come from? Megan continued walking along, her reflection distorting itself. She suddenly stopped as another mirror appeared in her path. She backed up a few steps. What the? She looked around. Mirrors of various shapes and sizes were now hanging all around the area, about 20 in all. She looked around all of them. She slowly walked around, staring at the mirrors in her reflection. Some of them simply showed her, while others distorted her image, like mirrors in a funhouse. She allowed a small smile to drift across her face. She stopped in front of one mirror. Her alicorn reflection started to look like a chubby little feeling. Who are you? Megan's head went around, made flowing about. Who's there? She sighed. She walked about, head turning this way and that. Come out! She shouted, putting as much magical projection as she dared behind her voice. She walked past one mirror, but stopped and backed up, and the reflection caught her eye. It was her, but not of her alicorn form. Instead, 13-year-old Megan Williams stared back at her, wearing the same orange shirt, brown vest, and blue jeans she wore on that fateful day in 1982. God, I wish she wore that outfit more often! It was awesome. The image locked eye with Megan. Who are you? She asked once more. Megan stared at the reflection for a few moments, blinking. She leaned in close. Is this some sort of metaphor? Like for my last childhood? She rubbed the side of her head with a wing. Well, I'm Megan. Wait, you should... Who are you? Megan's eyes widened, dilating slightly. She slowly turned to race into the voice. Another mirror floated to her immediate right. This one reflected another image of Megan. This one much older, close to her current age. Wore simple pants, a shirt, hair in a ponytail, for some reason glasses. A laptop was balanced on one hand, cell phone in the other. Who are you? No questions came from Megan this time. She simply stared at the image. Don't wear glasses, she finally said. Who are you? This time Megan rolled her eyes. She looked, and sure enough, to the mirror right, the previous mirror floated another one. This reflection of her wore a pair of jeans, cowboy suits, a plaid shirt, and fingerless gloves. Her usual outfit while working the rants. Okay, I think. Who are you? Megan let out a whinny. She tossed her head out as another mirror appeared. Her face as she beheld herself wearing a cloak, holding a spear with a fiery tip. The cloak's hood fell back, revealing a Megan with a hard stare and scar right down her side of her face, going over her eye. The image loosened to collapse, and the cloak fell off of it. Beneath it, she wore full plate armor, steel polished and gleaming. On her breastplate was a rainbow. Megan! You became a paladin! Yes! Who are you? Megan's ears folded against her head. She looked to the floor, but slowly turned to her right. She looked up, eyes widening as she took this final reflection. This one. She was in current alicorn form. Her mane and tail flowed back in ethereal wind. She was covered in regalia and armor, gleaming and polished to a high sign. She stared at Megan, eyes narrowed. But other reflections began speaking, all the same question as before. The voices started out distant, but they quickly synchronized. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Megan hunkered down, seeming to shrink into herself. She folded her wings over her head, and she closed her eyes. As she questioned drilled in her ears, into her head. Stop it, she whispered. Her own eyes reopened. Stop it! She grabbed her teeth together. Megan straightened up. Her wings flared out and her horn glowed, tossing all the mirrors away from her. Stop it! She looked around. Mirrors were all lying on the floor, still intact. She tried up to the nearest one of her as a child. Okay, yeah, I get it. You're all mine. You're all power mine. The glasses are right. The mirror with her reflection of her as an alicorn that floated up over to her side. Yeah, even you, now. You're all part of the whole, but you're all not mine. Even combined, you don't make up a power mine. A very familiar voice from behind sent shivers up and down Megan's spine. I am a part of you too, child. Megan's hand looked over her shoulder. She slowly turned as a spectral image of Queen Celestia appeared. Twice her height, staring down at her. She sucked in a breath. Well, maybe. But it's really a small part of mine. She took a shaky step forward, then another, then one more. And even being a part of mine, no matter how much you yell and shout, I don't have to listen to you. Just shut up, you hear me? Queen Celestia curled her up and looked back in a sneer. I hear you and ignore you. You are mine, Megan, and there's nothing you can do about it. Her form solidified, her horn glowed. Mirrors all floated up and surrounded Megan. Megan's horn flared as she used her magic to toss the five away from her. She craned her neck up, eyes blazing. Like hell, there's nothing I can do about it! She extended her wings, flapping them as she trotted forward and stepped up in the air. I won't stop fighting you, no matter what. Humanity won't either, and our friends will be with us every step of the way. You're nothing but a pale, pathetic shadow of the real Celestia. Your warped little Equestria is nothing but a funhouse version of the place I know and love. She snorted, steam billowing forth. We're going to take you down, you imposter! Queen Celestia's eyes narrowed. Strong words from a weak human. She fired a beam of magic at Megan. It expanded, splitting and weaving itself into a net. She chuckled slightly as Megan fired her own magic at her construct. Useless. You cannot hope to defeat me. You are far too experienced. You hold back far too much. Give in, Megan. It is far easier to. Megan's breath came in hitches as he kept firing bolts of magic at the net. They either glanced off of it or were absorbed into it. She flapped her wings and tried to turn, but the net circled and closed up around her. She whinnied, kicked and thrashed about, but to no avail. She steadily dropped back to the floor. No! Damn it! No! Queen Celestia walked forward. Yes, it is useless to resist me. Give in. It would be so much easier. A brow furrowed as Mickey continued struggling in the net. Why do you continue to resist? You see my power is greater than yours. It would be far easier for you to surrender. Megan ground her teeth together as she fired and shot after shot from her horn, flapped her wings as best as she could. I will never give up. Don't you get that yet? Good Lord, your dance! She focused on Queen Celestia as best as she could, through the holes in the net. No matter what you do, no matter how bad it gets, I won't stop fighting against you. You have to kill me to stop me. A voice from behind caught their attention.
She means it, too. Her will is almost unbreakable. Certainly more than a match for anything you could throw at her.
Queen Celestia's brow furrowed as she looked up and over. A third alicorn had entered, white-coated, with her blonde mane tied in a bun. Who are you? The alicorn lowered her head, allowing her to stare at the Queen Celestia over the glasses perched at the end of her muzzle.
My name is Granny Bonnie, and I am very disappointed in you, young lady.
She walked up to Megan and bowed her head.
Good to see you again, although I do wish the circumstances were different.
Megan blinked twice. Granny Bonnie? Is it really you? Granny Bonnie turned her head slightly towards Megan.
It is. This might be a battle in your mind, but that doesn't make it any less real.
She waved a hoof at Celestia.
That is a representation of the mental control she has over you, as is this net. You must fight it. I can aid you, and I will, but you must fight as hard as you can, Megan.
Queen Celestia stamped a hoof and snorted. It does not matter what pathetic help you give her. I am Queen Celestia. I channel the heart of Ponyland. My cause is righteous. Who are you to interfere with my helping of humanity? Her eyes glowed white. You are nothing compared to me. Granny Bonnie slowly turned her head in Queen Celestia's general direction.
Normally, I like to think of myself as rather humble, not one to put on airs or brag. In your case, however,
She started walking forward.
I held counsel with the one when he created Primus and Unicron. I shook my head in sadness as Unicron fell to corruption and helped prepare Primus's children to stop him. When the Chronocytec needed to correct the flow of time, he consulted my watch. I molded planets, stars, and galaxies and sent them spinning into the void. I started the heart of Ponyland pumping, breathed the fire of life onto Equus.
Queen Celestia leaned forward and fired a beam of magic at Granny Bonnie, but it broke apart and turned into butterflies before reaching her. Granny Bonnie shook her head.
Mitlar and his ilk are squabbling children to me. Discord and T-Rex are annoying at the worst of times. Celestia, Luna, Cadence, the real ones are growing and maturing quite nicely, though they still have much to learn. As for you,
Granny Bonnie slowly shook her head.
I feel sorry for you, that you strayed so far from the path. I wish circumstances could have been different, yet here we are.
Queen Celestia let out an inarticulate, almost primal scream of rage. She reared back, kicking the air. How dare you judge me! You have no idea what I've been through, what I've had to do! I have given all to my Equestria for all my little ponies, and then I saw people suffering, dying! I took them in! Granny Bonnie shook her head.
Their bodies starve. Their souls are drained. You had good intentions, but we both know where the road leads.
She let out a small sigh.
Celestia, I give you this chance. Turn back from this path of madness. Please, for all those in danger,
Celestia fired another beam of magic at Granny Bonnie. This one twice as bright as before. It turned translucent, breaking apart into a cool spring breeze, gently ruffling Bonnie's feathers. There was the slightest pauses. Then Granny Bonnie reached out and tapped the net around Megan.
Megan, it's time.
She said. The net sparked and wavered, the strands losing form. Megan reared back, eyes blazing. She leaned forward, firing a long, continuous stream of magic at the net. It strobed over the net a few moments before tearing through, dissolving it and leaving Megan free. Granny Bonnie looked up at Queen Celestia.
I gave you a chance,
She said, face impassive.
Remember that if nothing else, I gave you a chance.
She motioned at Queen Celestia, who was suddenly thrown back, tumbling about the air like a rag doll. Queen Celestia's wings extended, flapping. She eventually managed to regain control. She spun about and dove at Granny Bonnie and Megan. I will kill you! She shouted, manic rage etched on her face, ere she reached in her horn before she fired one more blast at the pair. Megan shook her head. She wordlessly fired another beam at Queen Celestia and collided with Queen Celestia's own magic. The two beams struggled for a bit, neither alicorn giving an inch. Sweat formed on Megan's brow. She dug her heels to the floor and gritted her teeth, but gained no advantage over her foe. Granny Bonnie looked Megan over, smiling.
You've more than proven your resolve and your determination. Now it's time for you to get some help.
She fired her own beam of magic at Queen Celestia. This one, unlike theirs, was pencil-thin, almost invisible. The beam struck Queen Celestia's own, quickly overpowering and dispersing it. The alicorn barely had any time to do anything before it struck her in the chest. She sucked in a short breath, face a rictus of horror and pain as the bright light expanded from the point of impact, vaporizing her. I continued on, spear covering over everything. Megan stared at the light, eyes nodding at pain despite the brightness. She smiled slightly as it flowed over. I see, she said as she faded, her along with it.
Megan?
Megan floated in the void, an infinite nothingness of light. She sighed. Nah, Gan, she muttered. She turned her head from left to right. Could we at least have a playing? Maybe a bowl of fruit? Granny Bonnie appeared. Even some Mona Lisa appeared on her left.
I do apologize for the blandness,
She said, bowing her head.
Most of the time, those who meet here just don't pay much attention.
She rocked back and forth on her hooves.
I presume you have questions?
Megan hesitated. I do. And before I forget, thank you for helping me back there, wherever that was. Bonnie smiled.
You're more than welcome, my dear. Now, ask your questions. Time is meaningless here. We can take a bit of time.
A sigh of relief escaped Megan. Thank God! Well, okay. What's the salmon back there? Was that really Queen Celestia? Did we just kill her or something? Am I human again? Granny Bonnie glanced upward.
Well, in order. The Heart of Ponyland showed you the conflict within, between how different people see you and how you see yourself. Then you and I fought and defeated the aspect of Queen Celestia that was trying to control you. It was a part of Queen Celestia, and now it's gone. The good news is, her power is now permanently diminished, even if only slightly. The bad news is, her attention is no longer divided.
She tilted her head.
As for the final question,
A mirror flashed into existence next to her.
why not look for yourself?
Megan rotated 90 degrees to what her body was telling her was a vertical position. She gasped as she beheld her human face once more. She gently reached out a hand and struck her fingers across her cheek. Thank you, she whispered. The mirror disappeared. Granny Bonnie walked up to Megan and gently poked her in the chest with a wing.
I don't want to say you're more than a human, or anything like that. But, well, you sort of are. All of the power of your alicorn form is locked inside. I apologize if this sounds speciesist, but the human body cannot properly conduct an alicorn's magic power, except under specific circumstances.
Megan shook her head. No apology needed, Granny. She reached out, wrapped her arms around her neck in a hug. Thank you. Granny Bonnie leaned into it, gently nestling Megan.
You're welcome. Do you need anything else?
Megan broke the hug. She rubbed her chin. Well, when you send me back, where were you planning on sending me back to? Granny Bonnie glanced down and thought.
Well, I think the best place to send you would be Autobot City. Forces are gathering there. Your family is there as well. And it would be best for them to know you're all right.
She glanced to her left. A door opened.
This will take you to the shelter your family's in.
Megan turned to it. She took a step forward but stopped. Wait, shelter? Why are they in a shelter? Granny Bonnie glanced to her right. A picture frame appeared, showing Autobot City and the battle being waged to it.
Queen Celestia has sent forces out to attack Autobot City and the surrounding area. It is dangerous.
Megan nodded. Thanks for the warning. She turned without hesitation, walked up to the door, opened it, and walked through. God, I love it when I have my mom on the show. Actually, I love it when I have my entire family on the series. Queen Celestia's eyes snapped open, a gasp escaping from her lips. She nearly tumbled from the solar throne, barely catching herself from her magic. She righted herself, glad that only her bodyguards were there. Her shoulders slumped, weakness flowing around her body. Oh, Megan, why did you reject me? Her eyes shone with unsaid tears. All I wanted to do was help. Why couldn't you see that? Her eyes narrowed and her mouth formed a thin line. That Granny Bonnie, whoever she is, poisoned you against me. Well, no more Miss Nice Queen. She stepped off her throne. Just then, a guard's point galloped in. Ah, excellent, perfect timing. Her expression brightened slightly. Lieutenant, I need Captain Armor brought back from the front. We have much to discuss. The guard's point seemed to shrink into her armor. Begging your pardon, Your Majesty, but I was coming to give you a report about him. She swallowed and wiped the sweat from her brow. Captain Armor and his squad had been captured by the humans during our attack. We had no idea on their condition. She paused. There are also reports of strange vehicles near Huffington and the New Falls Cylinders. There have been unsubstantiated reports of humans being spotted among them. Celestia stood stock still for a moment. Her mane and tail suddenly burst into flame. The chips in the roof spiked. She ground her teeth together. Very well. She began walking forward. The stone beneath her hooves bubbling and melting with each step. Bring me Nemesis Prime! It's time to end us.